fear of like some person getting old, or terrorist attack, and physical illnesses. We all have darknesses in our lives that we fear. We all have fears and darknesses that in our lives. Whatever that is, whatever the fears, and we all got different fears, and we all got different. But this message will bring comfort, and knowing that Jesus is omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient. He's all those characteristics. Those characteristics should reside in our lives. And so when we have those thoughts, we should have comfort. We should have comfort in knowing that Christ has got it all on control. I know sometimes it don't seem like sometimes that we want to rush the decision, we want to rush the judgment, but we need to be like the demonic man that's in a woman. Have faith and believe in Jesus, that at the feet of Jesus we can find all this comfort. We can find all our needs being met. And that we no longer can live in view things from the dark side, but we can view it on the light side because of the Christ who resides in us. We should trust Jesus' power for whatever the darkness that we are facing in our lives today. And that with that, we can have a sound mind. That we can have peace that surpasses all understanding. And he says in the scriptures that he'll give us a peace. That he who believes in me shall find perfect peace in Isaiah. Perfect peace because he trusted and believed in me. And this gives me great confidence, great endurance that I can go face that trying week that I had last week. This week, from this day forward, from this step, that I can find comfort at the feet of a sinner woman who was a prostitute, a demonic man who lived in a graveyard, if they possess all of life. I have no excuse. I have no excuse. Hallelujah. That's what I would say. Next week, we're going to talk about the prodigal son, and we're going to talk about a different version, a different aspect than you probably seen me talk about in years past.
Bless you, brother. Now, y'all know I always got to get my little preaching for Brother Z lead, right? Because the way the story ends, to me, is amazing. It's amazing. Think about it. This is a cat who originally was separated from everybody.
The demonic man, right?
The demonic man. This cat was filled with demonic spirits. Not just one, not just two, hundreds of demonic spirits, right? This guy was unable to be restrained because the people around him were attempting to restrain him. The people around him were attempting to confine him. Some could say it was for his good, but for real, it was for their good, right? Because y'all know sometimes it's easy to lock somebody up that you're scared of. Amen? Sometimes it's easy to put somebody else in a box that you're afraid of than to attempt to relate to them, to attempt to meet them where they are, right? To attempt to find out what their needs are so that you can provide the support that they need, right? It's easier just to lock them up, right? But this guy was in such a condition that he chose to spend time by himself in dead places, catacombs, tombs, full of bats and mice and rats and spiders. I'm sorry, baby, right? But this is what he chose. He chose damp places. Why? It wasn't necessarily because it was his desire to be isolated. It was his desire to be among the muck and the mire of life. But that dead stuff in him led him to the dead stuff that he surrounded himself to. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Right? Sometimes dead stuff take you to places you don't want to go. But until you come to a relationship with someone who will love you enough, who is patient enough to see through the stuff to get to you. Y'all know sometimes we only look at people based upon the stuff that they present. But we look at Jesus from the cross. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. How often have we exercised the ability to look beyond a person's, we say it in song, look beyond your faults and saw your needs? Well, the truth of the matter is, sometimes it's very difficult to see a person's need because their faults are so glaring, right? But this Jesus comes by, and that which is in this man recognizes this Jesus. Why? I believe Brother Z did a wonderful job explaining the context of the relationship between Jesus and the demons, right? Because guess who Jesus was? Jesus was the one that kicked the demons out of heaven, right? They got an intimate relationship, right? This is an eternal relationship. Why? Because Jesus created them, right? So can they recognize who Jesus is? You better believe they recognize who Jesus is, right? And I'm not going to wait for Jesus, these demons. I'm not going to wait for Jesus to do to me what he's already done to me, right? Because guess what Jesus is? Jesus is the demon kicker outer, right? That's what Jesus do, right? Jesus kicked demons out, right? Right? By the word. Ain't that amazing? That with the word, Jesus get out, right? Perceive his thoughts, get out, right? Some of us walking around, we call it demon possessed. Some of us walk around, Satan did it, Lord Jesus, Satan did it, right? That's Satan. That's Satan. No, that's that stuff in you. That's what it is. That's that stuff right here. You want it, you want it, you want it. But guess what Jesus can do? Jesus can speak to that stuff in you and free you from that addiction, free you from that wayward perspective, free you from that lifestyle that is, did he do it for the sinner woman that we talked about last week? He sure did, right? So much so that the sinner woman, she sought him out. Ain't that amazing? Yeah. We wonder why these demons seeking out Jesus, right? She saw, maybe that stuff that was in her was seeking him out. Think about it, right? Yeah, Mom.
I have a question. So in this story, did Jesus use the pigs as a sacrifice? Because he pulled the demons out the man and put them to the pigs, and the pigs jumped off the cliff. They killed themselves.
Well, think through it. But Jesus is all-knowing, omniscient. Yeah. We mentioned that, right?
Yeah.
Right? The demons don't know. They just want a host.
Yeah.
But guess what Jesus knows? I give you a host, and I know what's going to happen. Right? I know what's going to happen, right? Because you think you want a host, yeah. Right? Because you're looking for any unclean thing you can get. Mm-hmm. Right? Understand this. Any unclean thing you can get. Right? Any unclean thing you can get. Right? How many times do we, in our uncleanness, open ourselves up to being vexed by them demons?
Wow.
Right? Because they're looking for any unclean thing they can get. You hear what I'm saying? And sometimes our activities are leading us toward, man, I was talking to this young lady yesterday, and I told her, hey, you trying to figure out what your purpose is, what your goal is in life, and what you do. Guess what, right? What you do is who you are. Y'all hear what I said? What you do is who you are. So you don't got to try to figure out what you're supposed to be. Just look at what you do, right? That stuff that just comes natural to you, that's who you are, right? Don't make it real rocket science, right? What you do is who you are, right? If you talk a lot, guess what? That's what you are. You're a talker. Amen. Don't say it. Amen. Right? Amen. I know me. Amen. I know me, right? I talk for 2 hours straight, right? No notes. No nothing, right? Stop it, right? Right? No nothing. Why? Because I'm a talker. I know who I am. Right? So what good would it be for me to put myself in a position where I got to, like Brother Z say, sit on my hands? I'm over here dying waiting for my turn. That's right. Because I'm over here. That's right. I'm waiting, Brother Z. I'm waiting. Right? You got to know who you are, right? Demons know who they are. And guess what they want to do? They want to do who they are. I said something. They want to do who they are, right? Right? Because guess what like minds do? They find each other. Ain't it amazing? You find people. You get into stuff and I remember when I was growing up, It's amazing, man. I was like, man, is this just magnetism? Is this just like something in the ethos or something, right? But people who got like minds, they find other people
They do.
who think just like they do. Don't they? Right? They think just like they do. They like the same stuff that you like. And I'm like, wow, this is amazing, right? It's because it's that what's in you, it comes out of you, right? So look at the text. The text, because I love the end of the text, right? This dude, this cat is now delivered, right? He's sitting at the feet of Jesus. He comes to such a revelation concerning the fact that, hey, I was breaking out of chains. I was bound and fettered, and those demons in me gave me the strength to break out of chains. Nothing could hold me, right? You ever been so out of control in your life that it didn't matter what the support systems around you were? Nothing could hold you, but then to be delivered from that. Good God from Zion. All you want to do is serve the one who delivered you, the one who saved you, the one who gave you a new lease on life, gave you a new philosophy on life, gave you a new thought on life, right? Now this guy comes to the feet of Jesus. The other people, when they see this, of course, they go to the town, right, and tell the people. The people come back. And guess what they asked Jesus to do? You would think, okay, like Brazil ended up. Brazil, I can say it because your lesson next week ain't on this, right? Brazil said, right? And the people came and they feared Jesus, right? But in fear, you would think that they would be more concerned with, wow, this dude is different. This dude's life has changed. Glory be to God. Let's celebrate this changed man. Guess what? They were more concerned with the pigs they lost than the man's life who had been changed. Which then moves us to the lesson of next week. But I ain't going there. I ain't going to teach it.
That's right.
I ain't going to teach it, right? Because the truth is, most times, people ain't tripping off of what God is doing for you. People are wondering, what am I losing as a result of God's work in your life? Because it's all about them. If you got people, I know